As a PA student in the clinical year, it's sometimes so hard to keep track of all your clinical loggings because we have to log patients so that we can graduate and we have proof that we did some clinical work, and also for our future employers to see our work. And so you have to really be on top of clinical logging as a clinical year student. But as a person who might have subclinical ADHD or maybe ADHD, who knows? I haven't got the official diagnosis just yet. This is how I record my clinical logs in under 1 minute. And this is including HPI and sometimes the physical exam. Welcome to the STAT podcast, where we have conversations about the pre-PA life, PA school, and the PA you always dreamed of. Today, we're talking about how to log your clinical cases so fast that it feels like not work. And the way I log them is through dictation. But you can't just dictate on your notes app. It's not going to be organized, it's not going to look nice, and it's going to make a ton of mistakes. So here is what I propose. I am an avid advocate now for using Notion. And so this will only work if you use Notion app. If you're not using Notion, there's literally something wrong with you after I share the secret with you. Once you have a Notion page of your clinical rotation, you want to have a page dedicated for case logs. And so I made case log pages for women's health and for my neurosurgery case logs. The first thing you want to do after you create those case log pages is that you want to create an inline database that basically looks like a table. And then you want to have certain sections in the table. These are the sections that I like, okay? So this is for my women's health case logs. So it will be the name, meaning the name, you don't have to put the name because you have to be HIPAA compliant here. But basically, you want to have the description of the case so that you can have some sort of recollection when you look back. So you have the description of the case. Then you want to have the diagnosis as a property. And then you want to have the date, because that date serves as a purpose when you actually log your clinical cases in the portal that your school uses. So we use Core to log all the cases, but I pre-log the cases in Notion essentially. So date and then discipline, important for OBGYN because OBGYN is basically gynecology and obstetrics. And so I have a property for that. And then I have another column for Core and basically a check mark if I've recorded on Core or not. Core is again the platform where we actually log our cases so that we can get a grade for those clinical logs. So without me yapping too much, I'm going to share how I do it. So you're going to have not only a desktop version of Notion, but also a app version of Notion. So what you're going to do is once you have all this table set up, you're going to open a blank page and you're going to start labeling all the different descriptors. So what was the date when this log was made? And then you're going to do the diagnosis. And then you're going to do the discipline. And then what you're going to do is use the dictation on your phone to start dictating. Literally 30 seconds and you're done. We're going to look at a couple examples of how I've dictated before. And so let me look at surgery. So surgery logs, and one thing I did for surgery logs is that I added a week column. And so I could filter using which week I'm on. That's what I love about Notion. You can filter. So let's say these are the cases I logged during week 2. And how I would log it is what I would do is open up a page, start logging my cases right after I see a patient. And then the important other things that I really want to put here is the ICD-10 and the CPT codes. And don't worry, Notion has its own AI feature. So if you tell Notion, I need the ICD-10 code for something close to lumbar stenosis, it's going to give you the ICD-10 code right there. You don't have to go on Google to copy and paste it. It's going to do it for you. Next thing is CPT codes. If you ask Notion AI to generate a CPT code of, let's say, an initial visit or a post-op visit that doesn't require a lot of decision making, meaning it's a very simple visit, like a post-op visit. It's going to generate a CPT code for you. And lastly, the medications. You want to really keep track of medications too, because that is one of our requirements for our school. Another thing I really like about this, if you don't have the EMR charting accessible to you during your clinical rotation, what you can do is you can just get the med list from the preceptor. And then what you can do is ask Notion AI to generate the frequency, the dose, the route, and the form of the medication. And it's going to generate for you. And so that's how I do it. And I hope this helps, because honestly, it's kind of a trick that I haven't shared. And I hope this saves you hours of time in your week so you can go work out, have a good meal, and enjoy time with the people you love. Thanks for watching.